No one expected the night to twist into a mystery. Why would a single letter, left silently in front of Jin's house, send HYBE's headquarters into sudden panic? And why was Jungkook, of all people, the one who discovered it first? These questions erupted across social media the moment rumors surfaced that something had happened at Jin's residence, something that even the staff refused to explain. But what really happened before dawn broke? And why does every clue point back to that single envelope that should never have been there? It began as an ordinary evening, the kind Jin usually spent quietly after a long day of schedules. He had returned home earlier than usual, the kind of moment that normally felt safe. Yet while the city slept, someone stood in front of his gate, long enough to leave behind a slip of paper that would soon shake both HYBE and Army worldwide. The letter had no name, no return address, nothing but a faint imprint of handwriting that seemed too deliberate, too careful, too real. Hours later, when Jungkook arrived to drop off something for Jin, he nearly stepped on it. White, thin, and chillingly out of place, at first, he thought it was fan mail, something harmless. But the moment he picked it up, he felt the weight of something heavier than simple admiration. Why was it placed so strangely? Why did it feel intentionally hidden yet intentionally findable? Jungkook is known for his calm, but this time, the message he sensed inside the envelope made him freeze. He didn't open it immediately. He looked toward Jin's door, then toward the empty street, then back at the mysterious envelope whose edges seemed pressed with urgency. Something wasn't right, and the silence surrounded him like a warning. When he finally picked it up fully, he noticed a faint marking, almost like a scratch, across the back of the envelope. It wasn't a decoration, it wasn't accidental, and it didn't resemble anything from fan mail. Was it a sign? A code? A threat? The doubt hit him so quickly that he immediately stepped back, his fingers trembling slightly. He didn't want Jin to see this first. So he took it with him inside, carefully, as if any sudden movement would break something delicate inside. Minutes later, Jungkook contacted HYBE's security division, and that was the moment everything spiraled. The person on the other end of the line stopped speaking the moment he heard Jungkook's voice and the description of the envelope. Then came the order, short, fast, and alarming. Do not open it. We're sending a team now. Why? Why would a simple letter require a security response? What had HYBE been warned about, and what did they fear might be inside? The atmosphere in Jin's living room shifted instantly. Jungkook kept pacing, waiting, thinking of every possible explanation. Was someone targeting Jin? Was it from a past event no one knew about? Was this connected to the security upgrades HYBE had quietly installed around the members' homes months ago? And most frighteningly, was Jin in danger? Jin himself walked downstairs moments later, still unaware. He saw Jungkook's expression and immediately sensed that something was wrong. He asked what happened, but Jungkook hesitated, something he rarely does around Jin. The hesitation alone was enough to send concern flooding through Jin's eyes. When Jungkook finally showed him the envelope, Jin's breath caught. Not because he recognized it, but because of how unfamiliar it looked. Too plain, too cold, too intentional. Before either of them could say another word, HYBE's security team arrived at the door with urgency that scared even Jin. They entered with tools, scanners, gloves, and expressions that revealed more than they said. They scanned the envelope, whispered among themselves, then pulled Jungkook and Jin aside to ask one question. Did either of you touch the seal or attempt to open it? Their seriousness made an obvious statement. This was not a random letter. Then came the turning point. When the seal was examined, the team found traces of something unusual, something that shouldn't be on paper left outdoors. They didn't reveal what it was, But the way they exchanged glances told Jin and Jungkook that whatever they found was definitely alarming. And yet, they still insisted on opening it, because inside the letter might be the answer they needed. When the envelope was finally cut open under controlled conditions, the room fell into complete silence. Jin watched every movement, his hands subtly gripping each other. Jungkook stood behind him, as if ready to protect him from whatever truth was about to spill out. The paper inside slid out slowly, folded carefully, almost ritualistically. It wasn't handwritten. It wasn't typed. It was printed with strange precision, black ink on white paper, with a message that immediately sent cold ripples across everyone in the room. The letter mentioned Jin by name. IT referenced details no fan should know. IT spoke of moments that had happened privately, and it ended with one final line that sent HYBE into immediate crisis mode. Jin stared at the page for a long time. Jungkook's breathing changed. HYBE's security began making calls without explaining a word. Whatever message the letter contained, it wasn't harmless, it wasn't fan mail, and it certainly wasn't a coincidence. What kind of person leaves a letter like that at dawn? How did they get close enough without being seen? And how long had they been watching Jin? These questions now hover over every step HYBE takes. Additional personnel were sent to Jin's home. Security around Jungkook increased as well. Other members were notified. The company began reviewing hours of surveillance footage that, strangely, showed nothing unusual. No figure, no shadow, no movement. As if the letter had appeared out of thin air, the mystery deepens, and fans are left with a chilling uncertainty. Was this a deliberate message sent to Jin alone? Or is it the beginning of something much bigger that targets more than one member? Jungkook remained shaken, not because of what was written, but because he was the one who found it first. And Jin, despite trying to stay composed, knows that this incident may be far from over. More questions than answers fill the air now. What does HYBE know that they still haven't shared? Why did they react so strongly? And what will happen next as they continue investigating the source of the letter and the person behind it? For now, the truth is suspended in a web of fear, suspicion, and unanswered uncertainty. But one thing is certain, nothing about that letter was ordinary. And the moment Jungkook picked it up, everything changed. If you want the next chapter of this story, tell me, and I'll continue the narrative immediately. The tension inside Jin's home didn't fade after the envelope was opened. If anything, it grew heavier, thicker, as if the air itself refused to move. Every corner of the room seemed to echo with unspoken fear. Jin sat down slowly, still trying to process the final line of the letter, a line that had sent an unmistakable tremor through everyone who saw it. Jungkook held his breath, trying to read Jin's face, searching for any sign of what he might be thinking or feeling, but Jin's expression was unreadable, too controlled for someone who had just been confronted with something so jarring. HYBE's head of security asked Jungkook to recount every detail of how he found the letter.